What's going on, guys? Frankie Trades here, bringing you another new Sunday stock watches for stock hours. Hope you guys will enjoy this video. Before we start, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. We'd really appreciate it. Trying to grow stock hours to 1 million subs right now. A little far right now, but let's go ahead and dive deep into the video before we even get to that. So, yeah, going into this week, as far as earnings go, there really isn't any big earnings going on for the meantime. Next week, though, we do have NVIDIA earnings, so we could start to see some, maybe some choppiness, maybe some consolidation at the end of the week, just because of how much the AI in the chip industry has been carrying the market all around, and NVIDIA being one of the big factors behind that. Obviously, it won't be too big of an important thing this week, but going into the next week, that'll definitely be the biggest thing. So, with keeping that in mind, we can go ahead and dive deep into the watch list now. So, you guys know how I like to approach my watch list. I always like to start with ES and NQ so we can get an idea of how the market's moving, where the market is currently at. So going into ES here on the 4-hour time frame, looking at all time frames as well, I did not see any trend lines that could potentially get in the way, which is really nice. The only thing that I really see that could get in the way with ES, if we want to see more upside, would be ES here at the 5272 area. You can see that this is the area back from, what day was this? On April 5th, so over a month now, that we tried breaking out from and we couldn't get above. You can see we tried once and we got up to 5284 and then ended up closing back below this 5272 area where ES was getting stuck at. So going into this week, as far as the downside goes, there really isn't too much to really worry about. 5200 is the only clean area that I really have as far as anything on ES goes. Maybe anything below 5290 if we want more downside. My job isn't to predict where the market's going. My job is to execute where everything is at. So that's the problem that a lot of you guys have, is you guys try predicting where the market's going and then try basing your moves off of that. Our job as day traders, and the most that we can do as retail traders, is executing with what's based in front of us. So with ES here, the closest thing that it's really at is the highs more than the lows. For sure, you can argue that it's kind of in the in-between, but for the most part, I'm really focused on the upside. And since some of my setups are focused towards the upside, there's really only 1-2 setups that I have that are focused towards the upside. One being Meta, and the other one being Apple, actually. Both setups are kind of whatever, but there are some setups that are ready for the downside as well. So it really just depends where we want to head with the market. So with ES, I'll be looking at 5272, and then target on that would be 5300, and seeing if we can get any solid close above that. So next up is NQ here. Kind of the same story with ES. You can see that we're kind of just holding this double top area, this area that we couldn't break out from, which would be the 18350 area. Now granted, this doesn't date back all the way to April 5th like we did with ES, but it's relatively close. You can see closer to the April 5th area, we couldn't get above 18400. The first area that I do want to see us get above on NQ is 18350. After 18350, seeing if we can get above that double top, is getting to 18400. So as far as trend lines goes as well, with NQ, there really isn't too much. The only thing I do want to know with NQ is you can see that there is a lot of choppiness around these all-time highs, right? It's going to be like that. All-time highs are pretty choppy, especially if we get some sort of consolidation or we don't get continuous follow-through with the all-time highs like we did with NQ way back when. So that is my plan with NQ for the week. As far as the downside goes, same thing with ES. With NQ, I'd be more focused around the 18100 into the 18,000 area if we want to see more downside with some of our setups. So those are the indexes for the week and what I'm watching personally. So, but going into the watch list, which I know all of you guys are excited about, we already did post this on the Stock Hours YouTube channel and the Twitter page. But you guys definitely will see the ideas there first now on Sundays before the video. So, but you guys won't get the in-depth details like I am giving to you guys right now. So first thing first on my watch list is Coin. A lot of people hate Coin just because of how nasty the spreads can get and how bad the spreads are. I personally like it. It's as long as you size appropriately, it's not the worst stock in the world. But the one thing that I am watching on Coin here is if you go to the 1 hour here, I believe. Yeah, you can go to the 1 hour, the 30-minute here. I'll go to the 1 hour first. But you can see we have a bottom at 198 after we gapped back from, what day was this? May 1st, when we gapped down and then happened to push back up above 200. So that is something I will be focused on Coin. Now, is it a main watch list setup? Yes. The only problem is we did close right at 200, so this could gap down, it could gap up, who knows what this can do. So this will be part of my watch list for sure to keep an eye out from in case this happens to gap up, and then we come back to test 200. My target on this would be 198 on this, so something I'm definitely looking forward to on coin. So, and then the biggest setup of the week, which is the nicest setup that you guys will see here on the channel, will be Meta. If I put Meta on the 1 hour here, you guys can see that we are currently in a ascending triangle. Obviously, I'm focused more on the upside with this. Downside, there really is no clean play to really play Meta at. Upside is really the only cleanest setup that I am willing to afford to take the risk with. So, as far as Meta goes, I am looking to play the 478 gap. We have $6 left on it after its earnings. It has been on a run. A lot of these Meta plays have been divergence setups that we've been taking with along with the market. That has been our key setups with Meta recently as a whole with stock hours when we try to catch this. So I'm going to be looking for the same thing. 478 would be my entry. I'd be looking for a target of 480 because Meta does have that potential to move like that if it has the right divergence, has the right momentum, has the right volume, if everything's right about it, right? You'll hear more details on how we talk about it in stock hours. But yeah, Meta's definitely the cleanest setup here as far as the week goes and as far as upside setups go, honestly. So. And then next up is Tesla. Tesla is a little tricky. Really the only time frame that we need to look at this on is the 1 hour. Now, you can see above 160, it's really, Tesla is just really, it's just a choppy chart all around, right? Anything below 160, it gets to start a little bit cleaner, especially on the bigger time frames. It does get a tad cleaner with price action and a little bit of congestion. But the big thing to note with Tesla is it has been extremely weak the past week, so that is something to keep an eye out for because maybe we could get the 160 set up again, and then maybe the gap fill that starts at 157.50 as a potential play again with that. So, but as far as Tesla goes, I am looking at the low at 166 here that it made back on April 26th. The only problem is you can see that we have this downtrend on Tesla that ends at it's currently ending at 166.24. We could probably expect that to be at 166 or a little bit below that. So that's something to keep an eye out for because it did already reject off of it once, and it's been kind of following it as we come down. But with how weak Tesla was on Friday, it's definitely worth putting on our watch list in case this has any kind of divergence from the market again and happens to get that switch clicked back on to really be weak and see more lows. So that is the plan with Tesla. So my target on that would be 165, of course, with that. So, and then last setup that I have as far as clean setups go is Apple here. You can see that it's actually, you guys can see the consolidation here. You can see that we've been stuck between 180 and this 185 area for a week now. We did get faked out on Friday with Apple. Happened to have to be a quick tight stop loss on that, so not too big of a problem there. But I am still interested to take this at 185 and see what kind of divergence we can get from it. Currently, we're stuck in the middle. It's kind of the same thing with ES. Apple is really heavily weighted in the ES or S&P 500, whichever one you look at, they're the same thing. But Apple is just stuck in between both ways, but I am interested to play this either towards the downside or the upside. If we come to the downside, we obviously have that gap there from earnings. You can see if I put this on the daily, you can see what we have a gap all the way from 173.50 all the way up to 180, so around a $6 to $7 gap, something to look out for on Apple. So but yeah, that is the watches for the week, guys. Not too much going on, not too many clean setups, but those are the cleanest setups that we could give you guys as a follower for the channel. So obviously we go more in detail with the pre-market reviews every day in the Discord at 9 a.m. Eastern, and then we come back live on the mic at 9:25 to really review our plan and see what we got ready for the open. So but yeah, that is about it, guys. Last thing I gotta say is don't forget to subscribe to the free Wednesdays for the Discord. It's free. You don't have to put your card in, nothing. You just have to connect your Discord account and you're in the Discord, and then the Discord opens up every Wednesday for you guys to be able to treat or be in the chat for a day like it normally is for any other member. So definitely recommend it. It's free. You really don't have to pay anything. So but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys later this week with any student trades or student interviews that we do. So have a good rest of your day, guys, and have a good week. Peace out.